On the last night before his execution, the death row inmate secretly pulled out a box of cigarettes from his bed, not out of a craving for their taste, but to devise a desperate gamble. He spun the cigarette between his fingers, meticulously extracting the tobacco until it was completely stripped away. Holding his breath, he retrieved the detonator he had painstakingly acquired from the sole of his shoe and carefully stuffed it into the empty cigarette tube. His heart raced wildly in his chest. This was his only chance for survival, and failure meant certain doom. After hiding the detonator, he was about to refill the cigarette tube with tobacco to restore its original appearance when a sudden bright light in the monitoring room pierced his heart like a knife. He looked up to see the inspection team approaching, and in a panic, he scattered the remaining tobacco on the ground, then forced himself to stand calmly. However, the turmoil in his eyes could not escape the sharp gaze of the alert officers, and without a word, they headed straight for his bed, turning it, the pillow, and the bedding upside down. Each movement deepened the man's anxiety. But they only found half a pack of cigarettes under the pillow with no contraband items. Just as the man's heart began to settle, secretly relieved by his hidden stash, the veteran alert officer picked up the cigarette box and began to pull out the cigarettes one by one, unhesitatingly breaking them in half. Cold sweat instantly soaked his back, and it felt as if all the blood in his body had frozen. If they continued to break them, the cigarette hiding the detonator would surely be discovered, and the consequences would be unimaginable. At that critical moment, he gritted his teeth, betting everything on the most dangerous gamble, and lit the cigarette containing the detonator right in front of all the alert officers. As expected, the officers were enraged the moment they saw him smoking, believing he was violating strict regulations. They rushed over, yanked the cigarette from his mouth, and smashed it to the ground, crushing it with all their might. The man's hands clenched tightly at his sides, but a flicker of joy surged within him. This furious group of officers had no idea that their act of venting their anger had become the man's perfect cover. After a fruitless search, the officers cursed and turned to leave, and the monitoring room returned to calm. Yet they remained unaware that this seemingly ordinary oversight was about to trigger a massive upheaval. Once the alert officers had confirmed they were far away, the man immediately crouched down, trembling as he picked up the crushed cigarette roll, repeatedly checking the condition of the detonator inside. When he felt that the detonator was still intact, he let out a sigh of relief, and a spark of survival ignited in his eyes. The thrilling escape plan was officially set in motion.